there's one relationship in Naruto that causes a lot of outburst and controversy, it's Sasuke. It has since the very beginning of the show and continues to do so to this day. When talking about it nowadays, you'll often see people dragging down the Uchiha family as a whole in Boruto, often calling Sasuke a deadbeat dad who doesn't care about his family, Sakura a single and miserable wife, and Sarada a sad girl with daddy issues. And well, a huge contribution to that is the Naruto Gaiden manga, a manga created by Kishimoto himself in 2015, made to bring insight into the Uchiha family and clear some things up when it comes to Sasuke's and Sakura's relationship. Unfortunately, it just ended up causing a whole lot more confusion. So, what happened in Gaiden? Basically, Sarada is sad because she doesn't know her dad or anything, because like, Sasuke was never home apparently. She confronts Sakura. Sakura gets mad and destroys their house accidentally, and Sarada finds their family picture in the rubbles, but oh no, what's that? The picture of Sasuke is actually a picture of him and Team Taka, and who's there next to Sasuke? A woman that wears glasses just like Sarada. Karin. Sarada starts doubting that Sakura is her mom and decides to find Sasuke to confront him. She gets attacked by a wannabe Uchiha kid. Naruto rescues her and Chocho, who came with her. They meet Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't recognize Sarada and almost kills her. Sarada cries and yells at Sasuke, demanding for him to explain who Karin is and if Sakura is her real mom. Sasuke doesn't really answer and Sarada runs out and boom, outside, the wannabe Uchiha Shin, who's a lame-ass villain, attacks them. Sakura comes to their rescue because she was looking for Sarada, but then she gets taken to Shin's hideout or something, and she fights him. Meanwhile, Sasuke, Naruto, Sarada, and Chocho are now in Orochimaru's hideout because, surprise, surprise, of course Shin was made by Orochimaru. In said hideout, Karin ain't there, but Suigetsu, and Sarada requests for him to make a DNA test to test if Karin might actually be her mom, and for that, Suigetsu uses Karin's umbilical cord, and boom, the DNA test is positive, meaning Sarada now believes Karin is her real mom, and her whole life was a lie. She crashes out, Naruto uses Talk no Jutsu, and Sarada is motivated again to save Sakura. They all find Sakura, defeat Shin, and it turns out Sarada wasn't actually Karin's child, and that the umbilical cord Suigetsu used was Sakura's and Sarada's, as Sarada was born in her hideout because Sasuke and Sakura were traveling together. They're all happy in the end, and yeah. Now, obviously this is just a very shortened up version, and I didn't mention a lot, but I'd say those are the core elements. And if you want to read the whole story or watch it, feel free to do so. So yeah, why was this created? Kishimoto, like I said, probably just wanted to clear things up when it comes to Sasuke's and Sakura's relationship. It was to reveal that Sasuke, even though he can't be home and stuff, still loves Sakura and Sarada, and that their feelings are connected because Sarada exists and she's proof of that or whatever. God, there's so much wrong here. Let's go over the positives first, though. Sakura is a very good and loving mom that prioritizes her daughter over anything else, and while I do disagree with how she explains the whole Sasuke situation to Sarada, well, rather the lack of explanation, overall it's still really nice to see how much she matured and what a wonderful mom she's become. Also, I like that she finally got a fight again because Sakura needed so much more fights in Naruto, but that's a whole nother story. Naruto's and Sarada's relationship was also very sweet, although I don't really like how formal she is to Naruto given that he's like her uncle. You know, Boruto calls Sakura auntie and stuff and is like very familiar with her and stuff. And then there's Sarada calling Naruto Lord Seventh, but like Naruto became Lord Seventh when she was 7 because he became Hokage at that time, so like she doesn't know him as Lord Seventh, and why would she just suddenly start being all formal with him now that he's become Hokage? Like, she was already 7, they already knew each other, like it's just whatever. Their relationship was still very sweet to see, and that's it. And I even mentioned negative things when I mentioned the things I liked. So now to everything that went wrong though. Sasuke being absent for Sarada's entire life is nonsense. I mean, he literally meets with Naruto for intel then and there, so surely there would be time at least once a year where he comes home. Listen, Sasuke not being home often is totally fine and it makes sense, but not coming home at all, especially Sasuke, to whom family should be very important, is so weird. Sarada doubting her mom over glasses is so stupid. Sure, she's a child and kids are dumb, sometimes at least, most of the time, but it's just overall a lazy and stupid plot plot. I mean, the whole cowering thing itself had to be just trolling and nothing else on Kishimoto's part, and makes me believe that regardless about what Kishimoto said about his reasoning for giving Sarada glasses, they were only added for this very plot. Like, Sarada's overall design should have more Sakura's aspects in my opinion. Sasuke almost killing Sarada and then being so overly cold to her should not have happened. I mean, come on, wasn't it obvious that this is just gonna make fans hate Sasuke more? Yeah, I get it, Sarada was standing in the shadow and he couldn't see her, and also him being more cold is just his personality and that's just how he is. But it's not good. The whole DNA test thing was so weird because, first of all, Karen still having her own umbilical cord would imply that she just carried it her whole life long with her, which who does that? And even weirder is the fact that she kept Sakura's and Sarada's umbilical cord. That is genuinely weird. Why do you keep a stranger's umbilical cord? Like, it's so lazy writing, I can't. The conclusion was very unemotional and lacked impact. Oh, and also, why were Sasuke and Naruto so nerfed? Like, I don't care what anyone says. Defeating Shin should have just been done within less than a second for them. For one of them, let alone both of them together. Hello. Speaking of which, the villain was boring, and outside of this story, all his kids were never mentioned again till this day in Boruto. I get that this story's focus is more on the bonds and relationships of the Uchiha family, but still, Shin Uchiha is lame and should not exist in my opinion. The whole story just did the Uchiha family so dirty and made them look so bad, and it hurts because while I don't like Sasuke, I do like the Uchiha family members individually, and I would actually like to see them as a wholesome family. And here's the thing, having Sarada be pissed over Sasuke not being home is not even a bad concept to dive into, because it would kind of explain Sasuke's role now in Boruto, and you could actually do something with it if it's done right. So here are some changes I would have done when it comes to Naruto Gaiden. First of all, before I get into the writing per se, I changed Sarada's design. I'd remove the glasses, not because I don't like them, but because given that whole Karin aspect, giving Sarada glasses just causes confusion in my opinion, and like I said, they were just added for that whole Sarada plot in the first place, so glasses gone, green eyes, different hairstyle, and outfit, because her outfit is just a literal copy of Sakura's Genin outfit with slight changes. Of course it can look similar, but like, it's the exact same. And now to the story. I'd start off with a little flashback to when Sarada was a small child. We see how much she loves her dad, and also that she's saddened because Sasuke is about to leave. So what I would establish here would be that Sasuke stayed at home for like the first 4 years of Sarada's life before starting to travel. So yeah, Sarada and Sakura say goodbye to Sasuke. Sarada's sad, and then we skip to like a year later where Sasuke comes home for like a few days, then leaves again, and we keep doing these skips till we arrive at the present to a about 11-year-old Sarada. What I want to capture here is how Sarada's expression throughout the years changes from happy and excited to seeing her dad again to less expressional and to kind of pissed off at the end. The scene right now is Sasuke basically in the doorway, and he came back home for a few days again, and Sarada just says hi in a cold way and goes to her room. Sakura looks worried and asks her if she doesn't want to eat with them or something like that, and Sarada says she's tired, she wants to go to bed, something like that. Now it cuts to a scene where Sasuke and Sakura eat together, and Sakura tells Sasuke that Sarada starts asking more and more questions regarding him being gone, and that she feels terrible because she can't answer them, and that she should know the truth, and that she's old enough now to know. Sasuke apologizes to Sakura and asks her to still not say anything, as it's his duty to tell her about his past and his reasons, and he also doesn't think that she's ready to know the truth yet. So this is kind of to explain for one why Sarada is so cold and pissed, because she doesn't know why Sasuke can't be home like anyone else is dead, and she can't know because Sakura couldn't tell her the truth because Sasuke asked her to, and she wants to respect that since Sasuke wants to explain his past himself, you know. Makes sense. Now I have zero idea how I'd write a villain or whatever. I ain't no writer, but I pretty much make the story be about Sasuke's and Sarada's bond, as well as show how Sasuke and Sakura are very much in love and trust one another and all that stuff. Perhaps the story could include Sasuke explaining his past to Sarada, or if that's too much for this point of time, since I imagine they're probably gonna address that in 2 Blue Vortex. I hope they will, because Sarada should find out. I hope it's not something that's off screen, but that's besides the point. And yeah, he could just slightly explain it to her without giving too many details. And you know, it's the focus. The villain shouldn't be like maybe there's not even gonna be a villain. Maybe it could just be their relationship, their bond, and that type of stuff. You don't have to do the villain thing, but if you do it, don't make this whole Shin thing. That's no. So no doubting her mother plot, no Sasuke being absent for Sarada's whole life, no Karin is Sarada's mom confusion. Gaiden could have genuinely been used to make fans like Sasuke and accept that they are married, or at least, you know, be more open to them and not have this bad view on them. Sasuke deserves a loving family, and I love that he has only one child, and that child being a girl, because Sasuke being a girl dad, it just feels right. But Sasuke would totally not be like this to his family. Again, Sasuke is a traumatized boy. I made a video about that, by the way. Check that out. And he's not good with emotions, and that's fine, but this is not the way. Also, I'd actually like to see him being kind of like in the Boruto SD series. If you've read that, it's like a little manga series similar to that Rock Lee chibi series that actually had some episodes too, where Sasuke is kind of an overprotective but still socially awkward dad to Sarada, whilst also being a great husband. Of course, that's comedy, but should have added some aspects of that in the actual show. I think that would be funny. The emo, I hate the world, everyone in it, Sasuke being an overprotective, socially awkward girl dad would be best character development. I don't care. Anyway, the Uchiha family deserve better. And yeah, what did you think of Gaiden? Leave a comment and like the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe for more anime content. And yeah, bye!